Alright, so I'm hard at work in betweening this, cleaning up and in betweening this piece of animation. Still a little bit left to do on it, but as I'm doing it, I came across a section where it's a little bit, in-betweening process is a little bit different. And you can see down here, where is it? Oopsie, let me press my space. I've got two charts. I've got one chart for the head and one chart for the hand and the glass. Now, I tend to try and avoid using multiple charts because I like to work with the extreme skis and breakdowns and finalize all my arcs and everything with minimal in-betweening, just slowing in and slowing out. But this kind of thing, it's not just about slowing in and slowing out here. This is a mistake. Or an opportunity rather, it's not a mistake, that many intermediate level and even like pro level animators who I've worked with tend to miss opportunities, and I'm wondering if you guys do the same. So I'm here to share this secret with you that'll help you. So as we go, we've got lots of little fun things in here as I've been breaking it down, like the little hand wiggle in here, then the change in the timing, and he swirls the glass, drinks it down. Now, as he wipes his mouth, he puts the glass down, and he puts it down with a firmness, right? It's going to need an in-between in there to soften it because it's a little too firm, right? So if we look at my chart, I've got 111 to 119, so a 6-frame slow in, right? So it's going to take 6 frames for his head to just simply go from here to here, right? Here to here. It's going to be 6 frames. You can see the same going on with his hand here, right? So not much of a movement, just 6 frames, quarter of a second to slow into that. So it's like all of the other body parts, these buttons, everything, 6 frames. But we want to bring the glass down faster, right? We want to bring that glass down. Now, if we slowed into that at 6 frames, right, it would really feel like he's really carefully putting the glass down, and it'll feel unnatural to the timing of this big move where he's like going, he's picking up the glass, he's drinking it, and he's like wiping his mouth, and he's like, and he puts it down. We don't want it to be soft, 6 frames between here and here as he's putting it down. So what I've done on my chart, very quickly, I really don't chart for myself, but just so as I got to it, I remembered I put hand glass bounce, and I very loosely put this half principle here, but not really. I've put little arrows here to explain as well, and I would put those arrows there for the assistant, so the assistant would understand that it would be like, now some of you in the Real Animator training library remember the heavy ball effect, where the ball is up here. Let me draw on this layer. The ball's up here, it immediately drops to the ground, and then it kind of staggers, so it goes up again, and then it goes back down to the ground, and it goes halfway up again, and then it goes back down to the ground, and then it goes halfway up again and down to the ground, and we get this kind of bum 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 kind of feel. Now, we don't want that many bounces on the glass, but we want that effect. So I'm not going to draw all the in-betweens of the head and the hand and waste your time, because that's obvious, right? We're just going to trace, we're going to turn on our light box and we're going to just keep halving the space. So if his nose is here, we're just going to draw the nose halfway, then we'll keep slowing in and going on all the other frames, right? Same with the eyebrows, same with the eyes. If you want to know how to do that, I've got another video on my channel that shows you how to do that. We're going to focus on just this hand so I can explain it to you. So I'm going to do it as rough in-betweens, right? So the first one, if we look at the chart, is going to be a half. Oopsie. A half. 113 is going to be a half, right? So we've got 113, and what I can quickly do here is just put my glass, which is an inanimate object, so I can just place and trace it and put it in there. Right now I'm just gonna rough out his two fingers. I'm not going to spend much time. We're going to be fast. It's going to be a short video for you, short by my standards, okay? But then you should appreciate all the value and free information you're getting, a lot of it, right? So if I make long videos, those of you who appreciate that my information will be grateful for my long videos. But I'm going to keep this as short as possible today, right? So that's the, now I may want to solve the problem of this sleeve, right? So I'm not going to put any drag on a sleeve. It's a heavy sleeve. I don't want to put much drag on it, so I'm just going to do something like that for the time being, right? And what happens to the sleeve? The sleeve actually distorts, and maybe I'll solve the problem of the distortion some other time, or online actually, but in a rough way, right? Because we're talking, I don't want to lose my focus on talking about the glass, right? The sleeve is relatively easier than the glass. It's something that I have to think about, right? He's bringing his arms, he is bringing his elbow is coming back, right? So that'll solve that, right? So his elbow is coming back, and we can start to think about the distortion of the sleeve here. I'll tidy that up later, and I keep this moving, right? So you got bum bum, right? Bum bum. So let's have a look at the timing of that straight off the bat. All right. See, so as we look at it now, what I might do, because unfortunately, because I'm working very rough in a strong color, you're gonna just see a big messy jump of lines. So I'm just gonna trace this very quickly, very lightly, so you can understand, you get a better feel for it. If your eye isn't developed to see these things, you're gonna maybe miss what I'm trying to say. So this isn't too hard. When I rough, I like to really rough, right? I like to save time. All right. So there. So we've softened the action of the glass coming down by putting that halfway, but we want to feel that glass really coming in more. So we're going to continue with the action. So if we look at the chart here, we're going to do the bounce, right? We're going to do the bounce. But before I go on and do the bounce, I'm going to take the opportunity to say that if you are enjoying this video and you really want to up your animation game, consider going to ambaniimation.com, checking out Real Animator Training Library. Click on the Real Animator Training menu. You will be taken to this page with some videos for you to watch, some information to read about all the training archives within this library that I've spent 5 years of my life building, sharing all of my secrets with you. If you click join now, you'll also see some information showing what this library has done for people just like you, showing the work of people just like you who have signed up to it. And you're given two options, training and edutainment. The training archives are basically where it's really at, the really powerful thing that has people from established degree courses, people from Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network signing up to places like this, to this place. You got step-by-step, basic, intermediate, advanced archive, anatomy archive, animation lectures that are going to train you step-by-step in stages to be able to animate to this kind of level. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It may not even happen in a year or 2 years or even 3, but it'll definitely happen, and you can see that it has started to happen for people who have been studying in this library over time. You can just watch my channel to see me constantly communicating with them in the global Facebook community and watching how they grow. In the basics archive, you learn the 6 laws of life, which is timing, arcing, slowing in, slowing out, solid drawing, pose to pose and straight ahead, and follow through, overlap and drag. With a bit of squash and stretch thrown into boot, but more on squash and stretch in the intermediate archive, where you learn the 6 laws of life. So the 6 laws of movement in the basics archive, 6 laws of life, squash and stretch, primary and secondary action, anticipation, exaggeration, appeal and staging. You then move on to the advanced archive and you learn about putting things on model, drawing character, turning around character construction, applying and consolidating all these laws with solid drawing to be able to get solid model characters moving around. Primarily in these archives you deal with stickmen and flour sacks. The anatomy archive develops your drawing ability and takes you through every single bone of the human body, which you will construct and do a 360 rotation of, and therefore understand its joint articulation as well, which will really make you an absolute animation beast. All of these are presented in a step-by-step follow-along manner, where you're going to be able to watch the video and follow along as I do it, which is what makes this place so powerful. The animation lectures are seminars that support the step-by-step information in here, the kind that you would get if you were attending a CalArts and you had a guest lecturer like Eric Goldberg or Glenn Keane, except I'm that lecturer guiding you every step of the way. The edutainment archives that you have are pretty much like what you're watching me do today, sharing tips and tricks. You're basically watching a master at work. You can watch me through multiple sessions, drawing sessions. You can watch these videos. They give you a glimpse of what's in here. If you go to the How to Animate Your Own Film section, you'll be treated to 56 live streams where you watch me animate a film from start to finish, including design the characters. Everything is revealed to you. You can see the whole thing being done. A 2-minute film being made from scratch without a single design even being to start with. So it's a really powerful series. It's edutainment because there's a lot of banter, fun with the crowd, and I'm having to get through it very quickly. I can't take you through making a 2-minute film in a step-by-step process over 56 live streams. I will need hundreds and hundreds of live streams to do that. So that is the edutainment archives, all part and parcel of the real Animator training library. If you're fed up of what things not happening for you, why it's not working for you, no matter how hard you've tried, no matter who you've gone to, whether it's Disney veterans or whoever, and things just aren't happening for you, there's a reason, because you just haven't been learning the real way. This is the real way. This is possibly, in fact, I say it's the only way that's going to guarantee you get transformational turnaround results, providing you follow along and you don't let your ego get in the way and think you know better, because you're here to learn, right? You're here to learn the real, how to be a real animator. So if it doesn't work for you, it's because you're deviating from these training library sessions. So again, the training library archive, step by step, follow along. You do exactly what you're told to do in the videos, and magic will start happening. That's the real Animator training library. All right, now let us get back to this video explaining about the in-betweening. Okay, so let's put the bounce on this cup. So he comes, what we're going to do is we're going to create another frame, which is going to be 115, all right? So 115 is literally, I'm going to take the position of the hand, but I'm going to change it a bit. I'm going to put all the fingers, keep all the fingers on the glass, right? So let's just paste and get our glass into position, right? Let's put it, it doesn't have to be exactly into position, but I think it'll help if it is. So we're going to just say that all of them are there like that. Let's keep his little pinky slightly out. Let's keep his thumb pretty much on the position that it needs to be in. Now I can start thinking about the deformation of this sleeve kind of getting into position. I want to hit that pose pretty quick. I don't want to see the warping of that sleeve too much, so we're going to kind of just half into that pose pretty quick, right? So you can see that going down like that. Let's have a little look. Even by having his hand relaxing, it looks good, right? Even by having his hand relaxing before he pulls it in, it creates a little bit of firmness to the movement. Notice also before he puts the glass down, he raises it up, but he doesn't just, we don't just go up and down, we go in a circle. Watch his hand, like circle. Watch the subtle circle of that arc. Boom, boom, just like that. Beautiful. Right, so now we've got that frame, right? So what is it? We've got 115, 113 and 115 done. Now we want 117 done, right? So what 117 is going to be is it's going to be a subtle thing, right? But we're going to have our glass, right? Now this is where I was kind of bad with the chart because I'm doing it for myself, right? I would make it more of a favor, right? I'm not going to go half. My chart kind of is misleading because I'm going halfway between this and the last frame, right? So where's that frame would be about there. So there's no real clear, that's too much of a bounce, right? It's too much of a bounce. It'll shatter the glass. So I'm going to put it just a little bit, we could call it a favor, up like that, right? And I'm going to have his hands almost in position to where they need to be, right? Bum, bum, bum. And this finger will be opening up a little bit, right? And this thumb will be up like this. This will all be kind of like, I got to be careful. I don't want it warping into position, but I think I already solved that, right? So that'll be like that, right? Now I'm not going to draw it in nicely for you because that's a long process and it's not worth seeing on stream. Maybe I was right. Maybe it needed, maybe my chart was right. Looking at it, maybe it needed a little bit more. No, 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 no. That little bounce gives it that little effect, you see. So now while this is happening, I want you to visualize this thing as a whole. All of the rest of him will be just slowly moving into position between here and here, right? Just between here and here, right? All the rest, but that hand will be having a little bounce on it, right? Dum. Let's just push that. I'm gonna push it just a little bit more, right? And this is, you know, one of the things where if I had given it to my assistant with the way I charted it, they would have been grumbling and saying, well, he didn't give me the proper information. So when you're charting it, you want to be a little bit more careful, all right? But because I'm doing this for myself now, many people think the chart is some kind of super secret thing. It's just if you understand the space, the whole spacing thing, the slowing in and slowing out thing, it's a visual representation of the space between each drawing, so your assistant, if you're working with one, knows what to do. All right, so it's not too much. Or if you're planning and you really want to you can't visualize it, you really want to draw a chart to plan. Even I had to draw a chart for this one, right? Yeah, that's better. That's better. A little bit more pizzazz, oomph to it, right? So I can see that little kind of bounce really adds a little touch to it, and when the animation's fully finished, you'll really see. So let's have a quick look at it. He's here. He picks it up, swirls it, drinks it down, wipes it there. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's gonna look absolutely amazing when that's done. So he's here like that. Bam, that little nice slamp of the grass. And then he's going to look at there and there, which needs in betweening too. Okay, so hopefully this animation has helped you guys. This little video has helped you guys think a little bit more about your animation and about what you need to do in order to bring things to life a little bit more and to make things feel a little bit more alive in your animation. Okay, so thanks a lot, people. I will see you on the next video. Keep it real and keep working hard.
So, AMB is the greatest archive anyone could ever ask for.
You know, of all the books I've read, of all the other online tutorials I've seen, this was the missing key.
Every video is like packed with this information that I would never be able to get anywhere else. So I would say this is the greatest resource for learning animation.
For me, AMB Animation Library is hands down the best animation learning resource that I've seen. I've tried all the tutorials, I've gotten all the books. I've never been able to really grow until I found AMB.
And it's incredible. I've only just begun it, but I definitely am getting more from that than I did from my 1.5 years of college.
I've noticed definitely that my animation has improved a lot, and it's more alive than ever. And what I also like about this animation training is that you also gain real confidence.
Real Animator Training Library is unequivocally the best resource for animation, 2D animation, traditional hand-drawn animation that I've seen.
So I wholeheartedly recommend the AMB Real Animator Training Library to anybody who wants actual knowledge and actual applicable concepts to create their own animation and to move forward in the field of animation and to set your work above those that are just kind of teaching themselves and not learning these tried and true classic concepts.
AMB is motivated by his students' successes and improvements. He's a great teacher, a great animator with over 20 years experience in the industry, so you can't really get much better than that. I strongly recommend him to anybody.
I'm thinking on how to put in words what I feel about it. I love that. It approached me from my dream of becoming an animator. Every cent I paid in there was worth it.
I like that the library is structured. I can go back and watch it anytime I want to, and he's just got so much knowledge. And I just highly recommend it to anyone who's out there looking to learn traditional 2D animation.
So thank you, MB, so much, and thank you so much for all you done for me.
So, are you gonna join the library?